Dixon coming to you live early in the AM. And I am here to give you just one quick fact on baseball, and then I'm off, right? And so I do want to thank everybody who helped to get me to my Barry Bonds, uh, actually my Barry Bonds number, yeah, which was 762 subscribers. Now I'm getting ready to go for another number. And the reason I picked the 762, in case you didn't know, is because that's his number of career home runs, right? We started off with the Babe Ruth record in 714. Then we went to the Hank Aaron National League record of home runs. Then we went to Hank Aaron career home runs. Then the Barry Bonds home runs, 762. We just passed that. Now we're going for a new number. It's going to be 780. So, what is significant about 780? All right. So, we're going to teach you. Remember, I'm teaching baseball history at the same time. So, 780 is the number of RBIs that Ichihiro Suzuki had, right? 780. So we're going to go for the Ichihiro number, 780 in subscribers, and that's my next goal. So, guys, if you want to help me get there, if you like what I'm doing, by all means, subscribe and then share the broadcast with other baseball fans or people. If you're a serious baseball fan, if you're not, I understand that. I don't want you to help me if that's not what you enjoy doing. Maybe you enjoy the political talk that's going on. Maybe you enjoy some of the things that's going on with these wars that are around the world. So if that's what you enjoy, yeah, go ahead and share those. But if you really like baseball and you want to reach out, here's a place that you can share some good information. I'm commercial free right now, so I don't have a lot of advertisements that are going to make you have to keep skipping the broadcast. Don't have that, and so we're going to keep that going for as long as we can, right? So I do want to just come on here because it's going to be a short broadcast, maybe about maybe up to 10 minutes. So I just want to give you some words. How many people remember these words from a song? How many years can a mountain exist before it's washed into the sea? How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How about this? How many times can a man turn his head pretending he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Man, those are some pretty nice words by Bob Dylan. And do they still make songs with words like that? Because that is the kind of thing that I really zero in on, these words. So why am I quoting Bob Dylan today? Well, I'm quoting Bob Dylan because I'm thinking about a pitcher from the Negro Leagues by the name of Bill Gatewood. Bill Gatewood. William Bill Gatewood. And on this particular day, I did have a note here. He tossed this was April 10th, 1910. He tossed an 11 to nothing no hitter over the Louisville Stars. Now, here's what's interesting about Bill Gatewood. First of all, he doesn't get any recognition as far as I'm concerned. This guy was one of the premier no-hit pitchers. Now I've read in some estimations that he tossed about 20 no-hitters, right? And so over the years I've tried to compile some of them. And so over that time I've been able to find about 6 no-hitters. And so I'm going to just run these down real quick because and then I'm going to give you some other information as well. So let me run these down because I did go through it and put them together. So I have him May 13th, 1916, no hitting the Cubans, and he no hit them and won 4-1. And then I have, of course, the one I just mentioned, April 10th, 1910, which is April 10th today is what made me come up with this. And that was against the Louisville Stars. And then June 5th, 1912, he tossed a 7-0 no hitter over the West Baden Sprudels. Yeah, they were they were advertising that Sprudel water up there in West Baden. And then on June 6th, 1921, he tossed a 4-0 no hitter over the Cuban Stars, but this time they were the Cincinnati Cuban Stars in the Negro National League. And then in June 27th, 1926, he tossed a 7-0 no hitter over the Birmingham Black Barons. And then on August the 5th, 1907, he no-hit Kankakee, Illinois, which is a kind of tricky one because they scored a run, but he still tossed a no-hitter, which is kind of you think all no-hitters are going to be shutouts, but that's not the case. And so Bill Gatewood actually tossed one. So why are we not talking about Bill Gatewood? And that's why I'm talking about the answer is blowing in the wind, okay? So this guy died in Columbia, Missouri in 1962. I presented there and talked on him before. However, when we compare Bill Gatewood to some modern day greats, how about we compare him to Nolan Ryan? You probably heard of Nolan Ryan, right? Nolan tossed 7 no-hitters, and that is well documented. 7 no-hitters that he tossed, right? He played in the American and the National League. And how about this? He never tossed a no-hitter in the minor leagues. All of his no-hitters were at the major league level. So I don't know if he would just kept getting better and better or what, but I remember Nolan Ryan was lights out, and he was getting certainly a lot of publicity there in the 70s when I was playing ball. I just remember him very well. But he gets a lot of publicity, and Bill Gatewood does not. However, here's another one. Would you believe there's a guy with more no hitters than all of those? Matter of fact, he might have. I gave 6 no hitters for Bill Gatewood. Then I told you Nolan Ryan's number is 7. But would you believe there's another guy who has more than those 2 numbers? They have more than the 7 and the 6. How about this? His name is John Donaldson, and he's reported to have, believe it or not, 14 no-hitters. And man, this guy should be in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. Man, the bias voting and everything is keeping this guy out. He's come up 3 or 4 times. The first time I led a movement in, what is that, 2006. Okay, so, and he didn't get in. And then I was part of another movement in 2021. I made sure he got on the ballot because I was part of the group that put the Hall of Fame ballot together. He didn't get in. That particular group, Bud Fowler did get in and John Buckle Neal, but no John Donaldson. And then John Donaldson was up again just last year, and he did not get in. Of course, Dave Parker got in. Who was the other person that got in? And Dick Allen. Dick Allen. 2 people that should have been in a long time ago. So it's getting harder and harder to get some of these Negro Leaguers the recognition and that they deserve. But just know this, guys. Bill Gatewood tossed a no-hitter on this day. And then there's another guy named John Donaldson who reportedly tossed 14 that have been found. 14. But Bill Gatewood still has no hitters out there yet to be found. And so I'm digging every day, all the time, looking. Guys, so that is my fact today. Just know that, guys, the answer should not forever be blowing in the wind, as Bob Dylan said. But so just remember, how many times can a man turn his head pretending he just doesn't see? And this has been Phil Dixon with another edition of This Day in Black Baseball History. Be sure and join me later on. I'll be back. And I'm going for the 780 subscribers. That's my Ichihiro Suzuki number, okay? So we're going for that number next, and so you'll hear me talk about it. And I like giving the player's name and a total because that's actually teaching you some baseball, and somebody is locking this down in their mind. And when you talk baseball, you can talk some real numbers, and I like that. So we're going to go for some big numbers here. So thank you, guys, and have a wonderful day. And this is my version of Wake Up America. Let's come on. Let's get on the train and give these guys their recognition and stop this wind from just blowing away, right? Don't let their history blow away, and we'll be back. So, all right. So thank you for joining. Once again, if you like what we're doing here, go ahead and subscribe, and you'll know when I'm coming on. Or if you really like it, share it. Share it to your friends who are baseball fans. Tell them about the broadcast. And hey, I'll see you real soon. This is Phil Dixon, Phil S. Dixon, a baseball historian, signing off for now.